Yo, what's happening? I was in bed. PAX just ended, so I was trying to get some shut eye in the hotel, and I cannot stop thinking about the Twin Peaks finale last night. So I'm going to try to get this out as fast as possible and not have this be like a half-hour video or anything like that. Lord knows it probably will be anyway, whatever. But I watched the Twin Peaks finale. I had to see it. I didn't want anyone to spoil it, so I watched it late last night before we had to do another day of PAX. I watched it until 3 something in the morning, thinking, oh, yeah, well, I could just go right to bed afterwards and I'll get plenty of sleep before PAX. And I don't know, why did I think I would go to bed as soon as it ended? Like, my brain was fucking going after that finale. Like, I couldn't stop thinking about it and reading about it and talking to people about it. So that was a dumb move, and I'm exhausted. But I still wanted to get some thoughts out about the Twin Peaks finale and kind of thinking about it. At first, when it ended, I was like, is there anything to even pick apart here? Like, I don't even know where to fucking begin. Like, it seems so cut and dry. Like, what? But as today has gone on, I haven't been able to stop thinking about it and kind of piling up thoughts on it. I just wanted to say, I'll get it out there real quick, and obviously spoilers if you haven't seen it. Well, I don't know why you would watch this if you haven't seen the new show or the finale yet. But now that it's all said and done, I feel like there was this point through the show. I feel like they really made a point to in the Dougie scenes that when Cooper was portrayed as this Dougie guy, and his brain was all fried, his brain dead, kind of just whatever, however you want to describe it. Was that a good impression? But anyway, they always went out of their way to show that he was helping people. Even in that state, in that dumbass state, he was always helping people. The woman was like, "Hey, you helped me win those slots, and now my life is different. Thank you so much." Dougie, you helped figure out that issue with the insurance claims or the fraudulent charges or whatever that was. You helped our business. Thank you very much. The gangsters thanked him because he, helped them out. And it was like he made everyone's life better. They made a point to show that every time. Remember he gets obsessed with the dude's dandruff at one point and he starts rubbing his back. And then, he's like, you showed me the error of my ways. Well, even in just these little ways, he made their lives better. Now, what we were all waiting for in the show was for Agent Cooper to come back, the real clever, badass Agent Cooper. And he does. And when that guy comes back, he means business. He transcends fucking time and space to make things better. He has after fucking Bob gets punched back to hell. Sorry, he gets knocked down to hell to smack up Satan and then back to heaven where all his homies waiting. I think that was a David Lynch quote. But anyway, after that happens, he transcends fucking time and space to stop the Laura Palmer murder from happening. I mean, oh my god, what the, like, he's going that far to kind of make amends in a galactic way. But what happens? He ends up in this kind of alternate, shifted world, and it kind of didn't pan out, did it? Nothing's the way it was supposed to be, and he's left kind of a broken, confused guy. His last line is, "What year is this?" And if you think about it, it's kind of what happened in season 2. Season 2 of the old Twin Peaks, it ended with it kind of didn't pan out either. When he goes into the Black Lodge thinking, "Oh, I fucking got this," and he doesn't come out. He's stuck there for 25 years. I'm almost wondering if they're making some kind of statement on, like, I don't even know why they would make this statement or where they're going with it, but I almost feel like it's a statement on, like, just keep your fucking eyes to the ground and just help the people around you and don't go too fucking far. Don't overreach or don't do you know what I mean? Like, is that what they're going for in the show? Or, like, I almost get this message of, like, it's a message against trying too hard or something, or I don't know how to describe it. I know that doesn't make a ton of sense. Why would they be trying to make that point? But I can't help but notice that Dougie, and even in the finale, you got one more scene with this. They make a new copy. They make a new Dougie. Basically, they make a new Tulpa of Cooper, and he has the only happy. He has kind of one of the only happy scenes in the last hour. You see him show up to his family, and they're all happy. Like he's happy, they're happy, like everyone's happy, and it's kind of like he's rewarded for just being like a good dude, just helping the people around him in these simple ways. But the people who kind of go further than that end up miserable. I think Cooper kind of got basically what we saw in the finale. I think he kind of got the Philip Jeffries treatment. You know, if you've seen Fire Walk with Me, I think I think we saw Cooper get Philip Jeffried. Is that an adjective? Um, Adjective, verb. I am so fried I can't even think about that right now. But anyway, I think we saw him get in too deep and he got fucking unstuck. I think we got to see it firsthand, especially since they kind of touched on Philip Jeffries just before all the weird shit happened in that last hour. I think we saw Cooper get majorly unstuck. He doesn't know. I mean, he actually says, "What year is this?" I mean, I just feel like that kind of correlates to Philip Jeffries going, "What the fuck? It's 1989. I've never. It's not fucking 1989. Why the fuck is it 1989?" You know, in Fire Walk with Me or whatever. I feel like you saw that, but I'm almost wondering if the show also has this kind of meta level where, from what I understand, um, when they visit Laura Palmer's house in the end of this episode, the woman that answers the door, whoops, I'm getting a low battery thing. Pardon me on that. The woman who answers the door, I guess, is not an actress. Like people were looking up, like who is that actress? I guess it's actually the woman who owns that house in real life. And I almost wonder if that's part of this meta kind of subtext going on in the show, where I started to think about this when David Lynch's character, David Lynch is in the show, and his character has a dream where it's Monica Bellucci, the real actress, going, we live in a dream, you know, or not that. It's like, you know, it's like the dream. I forget the exact quote. We're like the dreamer who dreams and then lives inside the dream, but who is the dreamer? And it's funny that he brings up like the Philip Jeffries scene, and then suddenly the other characters go, "Oh, I remember that now too," and like the stuff with bear with me on this. The stuff with uh what's her name? Oh God, I'm blanking out. The oh man, this really sucks. Um, she blew up in the finale of the original show. I can't think of her fucking name. This is so embarrassing. But but they had her do her dance in the last episode, and then she was like, "Get me out of this." And you see a brief instant of her like not as that character anymore. Why am I blanking out on her fucking name? Oh my God, this is so embarrassing. But it's almost like she's aware of the TV show, like she becomes aware of the TV show. You know what I mean? And you've got David Lynch in his own show talking about, oh, there's somebody's dreamt this all up, and it's almost like she's become aware of the TV show, and um, I don't know. I just started to go deeper into that when they met that woman at the house, and it's the actual woman who owns. It's not an actress. I started to think more about that, and I realized, kind of going back and watching, when they flip into that when Cooper suddenly becomes Richard or whatever in this new world, I noticed that there isn't throughout this entire series, there's always been kind of like a, melodramatic stuff. That's just inherent to Twin Peaks, but also a lot of sound design in these 18 episodes. There's always kind of a like a humming sound behind stuff, or weird sound effects when this happens or that happens. And if you notice, none of that is in the finale, in the very final act of being in this kind of new world or dimension, whatever you want to call it. There's none of that. It's completely stripped out, and I started to realize that when I saw the when they go to that gas station, the Valero gas station. I think that was a more important shot than people give it credit for. I think when you've seen a convenience store or a gas station before in Twin Peaks, they're really exaggerated. They're almost like, here's a leftover one from the 50s, or here's the convenience store that we walk above, and there's a fucking magic room above. If you notice in that shot, it's just a Valero. It's just a brand name gas station that you and I could find on the corner somewhere. And we all know David Lynch doesn't like fucking brand names in his movies or his shows, to my knowledge. I feel like that part was almost a statement. Like, did they flip over into the real world? Like, almost like they were in a TV show before and now they're not. Does that make sense? Like, I almost feel like there's some kind of meta thing going on. Some people think that when Cooper wakes up and suddenly he's Richard, like he looks at a note and it's like Richard, that that was him as a guy named Richard waking up from, like, all of Twin Peaks and all the shit that happened was a dream, and that he woke up in that moment trying to like retrace steps from this dream. But I don't buy that the show. I feel like that's too easy, that the whole show would be a dream. I just feel like that's a little too simple. I think there's more to it than that. But I feel like there's this meta narrative thing going on where they realize they're in a TV show or something, like, and Judy is this overarching thing that when Cooper messed up the plot of this first show, she kicked Laura Palmer into a different show or reality. Does that make sense? It just seemed like nothing was exaggerated or melodramatic in the way that Twin Peaks normally is in that other world. So I wonder what that's all about. I haven't pieced this all together. I don't really know the answer just yet, but I really think there's something going on with that. That just stands out to me. And I feel like when you see a scene with Cooper earlier in these new episodes where Laura Palmer leans over and whispers something into his ear, and he reacts like, "Oh, okay." And then you saw that same shot again in these credits of the final episode, and he has a shocked look, and I almost wonder if now he understands, like it was all a show, or something like that, or he understands that he fucked up or something. I don't really know. There's also that shot of when he sees Diane and it freezes on Cooper's face, and his face is kind of superimposed over the rest of it for a while, which was really unnerving, wasn't it? It was kind of creepy, but I don't know why. That was just really unsettling. It was a little bit Gamer Wars, but it was a lot unsettling. But anyway, I almost felt like maybe that was the moment he kind of realized what was really going on in the show, like that it was a show or something. Maybe I'm going crazy thinking about this. Maybe none of this makes sense, but I need to watch it all again. Maybe this doesn't hold up to another viewing, but it's almost like that was when he realized it was a show, because then he's just staring, and the only line he says in that superimposed face is, "We live inside a dream." Like, this is all bullshit, you know? And it's after that he starts to talk about, like, "I hope to see you all again. We'll see." He heads to that room and he says, I'll see you all at the curtain call. It's just all like tied into these kind of show ideas. You know what I mean? It's just not to mention that like when he goes into when he starts to trigger or go an alternate path, he takes a door in the boiler room to get there. And isn't that where the alternate ending for the pilot episode was? Like it was in a boiler room or something. This might be getting too meta. I think I might be thinking too hard. Audrey was the fucking character I meant to say earlier. Audrey, when she did her dance, and then there was a moment where she saw herself in the mirror. Why could I not think of Audrey? That was so stupid. I'm an idiot. But anyway, yeah, I think I have to say there were when they showed the Audrey moment in the couple episodes ago or whatever when she it was like she woke up for a second out of the show, and then that was it. I actually thought to myself that would be so great if they never went back to this. You know, a lot of people were like, "Ooh, we're gonna get some juicy stuff the next couple episodes," and I just thought to myself, I hope so, but that seems like not David Lynch's style. I feel like David Lynch just gave us enough in his book. You know what I mean? He wasn't going to go like, Audrey, you are part of an experiment, or you know, you have been in a coma for 9 years, and you none of that was going to happen. That ain't David Lynch. I feel like we saw just enough to where it was like, oh, you know, maybe this world is a series of people's dreamed perceptions of things, or perceived realities, or different realities existing at the same time. You know, even going back to Fire Walk with Me, you know, you have the agents in the FBI building doing one thing, and then Philip Jeffries walks in and he's like, he's got his reality, they've got theirs, and they don't fucking jive. So, bam, he's gone. You know, I don't know what to make of all of it. So these are just a lot of thoughts, not really quite quilted together, but just a lot of thoughts as I lay in bed and just kind of stew on it a little bit more. You know what I mean? So yeah, what do you guys think? Also, little things too, like when he goes into Laura Palmer's house in Odessa, Texas, whatever her name is now, Carrie something. But man, that white horse was like right on the mantle, like sitting right there with the blue plate or whatever behind it. The horse is the white of the eye, and you know, whatever. I still think episode 8 was probably the coolest episode of Twin Peaks, but I really can't believe it. Like the original Twin Peaks, I've always talked shit on. I loved the weird stuff, the David Lynch directed stuff. You know, I always liked that, but I thought it was too bogged down by the soap opera shit, and I never really liked it. So I always kind of scoffed at it, you know. And then this new show came out, and now I think this is like one of the best fucking things that's ever aired. I really can't believe how much I've turned around on it. It made me go back and check out Fire Walk with Me, which I loved. Again, when Twin Peaks embraces its weird side is when I really love it. And man, did these new episodes do that. I think this is one of the most provocative and interesting things that's ever aired, you know? And like, not to talk shit on, like, I know people out there like Game of Thrones and all that stuff, and I'm not dissing anybody who digs that stuff. But you know, it's just like superhero movies. It's a lot of like, ooh yeah, fuck yeah, yeah, they got a dragon, yeah. And I'm so happy that there can also be, and I think that's fine. I think that's fine. I watch fucking Dragon Ball Z, and it's fucking yeah, Goku, yeah, hell yeah, you know, whatever. It's fun to watch. In the same way that wrestling's fun to watch, or the same thing, you know, whatever. But I'm glad that we can also have room for something like this that intentionally does not give you what you want, that intentionally challenges you and spins you in the fucking office chair as hard as he can and lets you figure out which way is up. You know what I mean? Like, I love that this got to the air. I give Showtime a ton of credit for letting this just happen. You know, it seems like they weren't going to in the beginning, but it did, and I couldn't be happier. I think it's one of the coolest things that's ever aired on TV. Flaws and all, you know. There's things throughout the show that maybe I didn't like here or there, but in terms of a finale, I kind of don't have any complaints. Even though I felt unsatisfied in a lot of ways, I was like, that's kind of, I don't know. I really like endings that wrap things up and then fucking spin me for a loop. You know what I mean? I mean, perfect blend to me. You know what I mean? So I really liked it. Yeah, those are my thoughts right now. So I said this wasn't going to be a half an hour. It's like 20 minutes. So I guess I get. I thought it'd be even shorter than that, so I still kind of fucked up, but I guess it's all right. Anyway, sorry I look like shit in this, but I'm going to bed now, so I'm turning this shit off. Bye.